So, ladies and gentlemen, it's another day, another example of Hasan Piker completely and totally shitting the bed. And it still never ceases to amaze me, if you want to know the truth of it, that this guy finds new and creative ways to dig just a little bit deeper to reach a new bottom of the barrel. Just when you think this guy can't get any lower, he can't get any slimier, he can't get any faker, he can't get any more disingenuous, life finds a way. And this guy always seems to continue to dig himself deeper and deeper and deeper. So, without further ado, we're going to watch this more Pegasus video, which yeah, shout out to this guy's channel. He's doing very well for himself. And he's joining the repertoire of people shitting on this clown, this terrorist supporting freak, this underage brothel visiting narcissistic terrorist supporter. And when I say terrorist supporter, I'm not being glib, I'm not being hyperbolic, I'm being honest. This guy has never met a flavor of terrorist that he doesn't like.
The mythical Hasan series, rated 11 out of 10 by everybody except Hasan. In today's video, Hasan has accidentally admitted something very sinister. He's now crashing out at random celebrities. He's also responded to the recent terrorist attack in Boulder, Colorado, and his viewers are completely unhinged about it. Hasan Moon number 4, Mike from PA, is back beefing with Asmongold, and
Oh, we talked about that guy. Yeah, Mike from PA. The guy that basically like creamed his pants when he touched a girl.
Dubs is back with yet another terrible video. Alrighty, subscribe to find the love of your life, and let's begin with Hasan once again admitting that he supports terrorists.
Hasan gets asked what his favorite flag is on the first day of Pride Month.
Let's talk about our favorite flags.
Oh, like overall, what my favorite flag? Yeah, Hezbollah. Look it up.
Oh. You're asked what your favorite flag is. You would think that it's an innocuous question. Oh, my favorite flag is the USA flag. Or my favorite flag is the flag of Turkey. Or my favorite flag is the Australian flag. Or like any number of things. But the first thing that comes out of his mouth, the first thing that Hasan says is, my favorite flag is the flag of a recognized terrorist organization. Again, I repeat, when I say that Hasan is a terrorist propagandist, when I say that I consider him a terrorist, it's not hyperbolic. It's not even an exaggeration. Everything that this guy does is for the sake of propaganda for terrorist networks. And it's absolutely disgusting to watch him do this.
I'm not even kidding. It's actually
Even Will is like, oh no, he's doing this. Oh shit.
They are celebrating Pride and have a flag on the desk, while one of the co-hosts is also gay. How does Hezbollah treat the LGBT plus community? Hassan Nasrallah, head of Hezbollah, those who commit this act, even if they do it once, are to be killed.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. I mean, listen. You might not agree with his methods.
Yeah, there might be someone who doesn't agree.
A dope flag. It's got an AK on it and a fucking hand holding it up. Or
We might have to cut this. This looks like a brand.
Yeah, this is where I would really like to show the video clip of Hasan playing terrorist music and dancing in his room, dressed as a terrorist. He's got an AR-15 aiming it at the camera, playing terrorist music in the background. Now, you may think that I'm just making that up or that that's bullshit. However, I played it during a stream. And that was the first time that YouTube actually took down my stream live, as I was live. I was streaming across multiple platforms, but they took it down That was streamed directly to Twitch, by the way. That was streamed on Twitch. But YouTube was like, no, we're not putting this up. We're not allowing this. Which I understand. I do. You know, Hasan was acting in a way where he's pointing the gun at the camera, saying Allahu Akbar. I mean, it's a clip that's pretty infamous at this point. You could find it if you wanted to. I may post it on my Twitch. I'm not going to post it on my Twitch. I may post it on my X account. So if you want to look me up on X, you can find it. And I may just upload that to Kick directly, because I was live streaming it there. So maybe I'll put a link in the video itself if you want to see the full video.
And of mustard. This is your favorite one?
We're behind the paywall. It's fine.
Let's talk about our favorite.
The meme is true. Hasan trying not to support terrorist challenge for 5 minutes. Impossible. 99.99% failure rate. I mean, we already knew this. He's shown support for Hezbollah, the Houthis, Hamas. He's kind of collecting terrorist organizations like Pokemons, you know? And I'm just kind of more interested in his friends here. Like, the cognitive dissonance you have to even be Hasan's friend is just hilarious.
You know what I think it is? I think it's a combination of things. Number one, I definitely agree that there is an element of fear. A lot of these content creators are fearful of losing what they have. They're also fearful of being accused of something. They're probably afraid of Hasan's audience. And, you know, who can blame them? Like, Hasan's audience is a bunch of people that were spamming heart emojis when 2 Israelis were killed. 2 Christian Israelis in Washington, D.C. And his chat is spamming based. He has an audience of mentally ill, morally disgusting, reprehensible, subhuman animals. It's what he has. And maybe there's an element of fear, but also, Hasan was very well connected. He still is very well connected, but he was very well connected. And he used to get a ton more viewers than he does now. He used to have a lot more viewers. He used to have people that would collab with him all the time. And so that also played a part. These people are like the people in Hollywood, just a lot less famous. And they're willing to sell their soul for a lot less. So these are the people that will sell out, that will collab with a terrorist, you know? Collab with this guy, no problem. They're disingenuous, they're fake, they're phony.
All these people on this table are massive hypocrites. Like, they will claim to support LGBT, got the pride flag on the table, but not condemn their terrorist supporting friend, the guy who glazes the terrorists that want LGBT people dead. I mean, what are the options here? Like, 1, they're really, really stupid, or 2, they're spineless, or 3, they actually just agree with Hasan and also support terrorists. It's kind of like that chickens for KFC type bullshit. And like, you would think this is a one-off thing, but no, these guys literally host a podcast together. This is called the Fear and Podcast by Hasan, Will, Austin, and QT, who is coincidentally Jellyfish Ludwig's girlfriend. So these people pretty much make Hasan more money. They promote him to a wider audience to get more people brainwashed and indoctrinated. Like, I don't know if I have any sympathy at this point for these people, all right? There's no way they don't know this guy's views. They're kind of just okay with it because it's convenient for money and clout. Here's what people are saying. Pretty sure Austin is not gay, but also Lebanese, Lamau. The why did you invite this guy look on his face is priceless. Yeah, that's what you would think, except they literally co-host this podcast together. The we might have to cut this speaks volumes. Another free content for Dex and Pegasus. Okay, we're just everywhere now. Culture so peaceful, they have guns on their flags. At this point, Hasan is just testing how far he can go. He's the edgy friend in the 6th grade, but he's in his mid-30s. You can tell his own friends are sick and tired of having to be friends with a guy like him. I don't know, man. They willingly started this podcast together. I don't know if they're just like sucking off the clout of him, but yeah. Now after this, Hasan talks about this musician, and basically I imagine this this guy was sort of like bullied to take a stance and have a position on the whole conflict. And then he finally gave his response. And then Hasan is just melting down over it because he's not 100% supporting the terrorists.
For anyone who has ever listened to a note of my music, of my band, or any of the music I've created over the years, or looked at the artwork or read any of the lyrics, it would be self-evident that I could not possibly support any form of extremism or dehumanization of others. All I see in a lifetime's worth of work with my fellow musicians and artists is pushing against such things, trying to create. First of all, it's just a both sides argument where many artists who are unconditionally and firmly committed to Israel having to basically crawl through a mile of rusty nails to finally come out and be like, oh God, I just don't want to do this.
Yeah, kind of like you would drag your bleeding foot through 8 miles of lemon juice and Legos before you actually condemn the terrorist orgs. I don't know, I feel like that guy was pretty reasonable. He's like, yeah, I don't condone violence whatsoever. I don't really know much about this guy, but why do people care about a musician's opinion on political issues? Like, I'll never get this. Like, people are so obsessed with making other people have the same opinion as them, the right opinion. Now, this next part, this guy...
Well, so I can explain that. What a lot of these people want to do is create the illusion of conformity. And the way that you create the illusion of conformity is by getting the media to agree with you, getting politicians to agree with you, and getting celebrities to agree with you. Now, corporations are one thing that you could also go with, but if you have celebrities and you have the media and you have politicians, it goes a long way in normalizing what you're saying, even if what you're saying is not normal. And I think that's why they're so interested in getting people on board and then bullying them to stay in, because there is a power in we get people to say what we want in agreement to us and they can't say anything else. There is a power in that. Now, the power in it has eroded over the last few years, but the perception of majority, the perception of uniformity, a lot of people don't want to be the one on the outside. A lot of people, they don't have the testicular fortitude or the spine to take a stand. For example, Ludwig. Ludwig is a jellyfish. I think he's even called that in one of these videos. He is a spineless, disingenuous person. And the reason he's disingenuous is because he's not able or allowed to tell the truth because he fears the repercussion. Now you compare that to somebody like me. I've talked about most hot button topics, and where I land is usually 180 degrees from these people, and I articulate why my position is what it is, and why I don't like the way that these people think or how they act or how they collab or how they click. It's for me, it's gross. It's repellent. And I verbalize and articulate that at every chance that I get, which is why I'm never going to be invited on any of their shows. Not that I would ever go on Hasan's show or Ludwig's show. I have no desire to do that at all. Ever. But that's the reason. When I started this channel, I had 0 subscribers. I didn't know what I was doing. I had 0 insider access. I basically just started a channel, got a microphone, and started recording. And the only reason I have the platform that I do, which is growing leaps and bounds, by the way, it's been kind of unbelievable over the past couple weeks. The only reason I have a channel is because people eventually got to hear what I was saying and they agreed. Now, of course, there are people who disagree, but a lot of people agree. And they go, oh, this guy is telling the truth. This guy's being honest from his perspective. And that was refreshing enough that, like, okay, I'll give this guy a chance. And I've appreciated it ever since.
Guy straight up condemns Israel, and it's still not enough for Hasan.
For others, let me fill in the blanks now so we're nice and clear. I think Netanyahu and his crew of extremists are totally out of control and need to be stopped, and that the international community should put all the pressure it can on them to cease. Their excuse of self-defense has long since worn thin and has been replaced by a transparent desire to take control of Gaza and the West Bank permanently. This is an interesting thing to state right now after 19 months of...
Oh my god, bro. You can't win with this guy. He just, like, what else do you want him to do? Jesus Christ.
At the same time...
Well, this is the other part of it. You see, the way that people like Hasan maintain relevance is by trying to be the arbiter, the gatekeeper. So he doesn't want people to come into that space that are more relevant than him, that may not have as extreme a position. You see, he wants to maintain the regulation of the flow of information. So he wants his audience to get a diet of purely radicalized, supercharged, like far left, regressive slop. And if somebody comes in and, you know, they're a musician and they're sort of amenable to your cause, but they're not as rabid, well, for Hasan, that's a problem. He doesn't want people listening to them. He just wants that person to be like, yeah, I support this completely and totally, you know, Hasan's right. He wants the attention, he wants the accolades, he wants the, you know, he wants the glory, he wants everything to be about him because it is all about him. He's a narcissist. And that's why he does it. That's why he plays this game of, oh, you're not really a true believer. And so his audience eats that shit up.
The unquestioning free Palestine refrain that surrounds us does not answer the simple question of why the hostages have still not been returned. There is no quarters for this kind of bullshit, especially this far out. If you're going to come out and you're going to swing for the fences and try to basically reduce the impact of months and months of your silence, why did Hamas choose the truly horrific acts of October 7th? The answer seems obvious, and I believe Hamas chooses to hide behind the suffering of its people in an equally cynical fashion of their own purposes. Ridiculous.
Ridiculous, guys. Ridiculous that he would possibly criticize the terrorists. Don't you dare criticize Hamas, you freak. I mean, this guy literally condemned the Israeli government's actions as well, and this guy is still crying, bro. You can't make this shit up. Bro just wants that terrorist pee-pee so bad. He's just latched onto the terrorist ball sack. It's crazy. Anyways, in usual fashion, one of Hasan's somewhat sane chatterers calls him out.
Hamas kills its own people. They're opportunistic and siphon off the wealth from the locals. They should get removed. While isn't real, isn't good. They're just as bad. Okay, no idea. Just looking at this from an average Joe position. Yeah, my job as a communicator, as a political commentator, is to explain to the average Joe that there is a severe asymmetry of power here. You don't have to be a perfect victim.
Hasan, the average Joe isn't watching your content. Your ever-dwindling audience is filled with mentally ill, morally repulsive, evil, subhuman, basement-dwelling scumbags that support terrorism and violence and any sort of malevolence in the world if it allows them to feel better about themselves. You don't speak to the everyman. Do you know who does, ironically, is somebody like Asmongold. He can speak to people in a way that's more reasonable because he's not trying to constantly indoctrinate them with anti-American rhetoric, pro-terrorist rhetoric. Like, you create violent extremists with your type of content, Hasan.
Do you understand? That's ridiculous.
Did you just call Hamas not a perfect victim? Also, I love how he says it's my job to explain it to you guys. You know, you guys are just too stupid to understand any situations. You need my political expertise, obviously. What is my political expertise? Hezbollah is based, guys. I support the Houthis, 10 toes down. Political expertise, you know, Russia would never invade Ukraine 1 week before the invasion.
We did it successfully. We stopped Vladimir Putin from invading Ukraine. Or maybe that was never gonna fucking happen. Like I said, it was never gonna fucking happen.
Let's actually all trust Hasan's political expertise.
Let's just take a moment to appreciate the fact that Hasan was disastrously wrong on that.
He should be broadcasted on every news network across the globe for being an example of how fucking stupid you can become when you get brain rotted into politics. Anyways, last time we were talking about how Hasan would respond to the Colorado attack, right? Basically, a guy was setting Jewish people on fire with Molotov cocktails. Absolutely horrific situation. Yeah. And last time a situation like this happened, a person was shooting two Israelis and them. Hasan heavily implied that it was a false flag. He said it would be the perfect false flag, and he played defense for the shooter, saying that, oh, the media is not broadcasting the correct message or whatever.
Yeah, we covered this before.
So he shot and killed two people.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
I'm not Mr. False Flag at all, but like every single thing that he did in the aftermath of the shooting is so fucking crazy that it's like, you could not have designed a better false flag incident like this.
So this time he responded, and believe it or not, he actually had a decent response. I assume the feds were watching.
Some psycho went up to a bunch of old Jewish people that were doing like a demonstration in support of Israel and tried to like light them on fire or something. He was shirtless, you know, just real insane. He had like Molotov cocktails or something. The protest was to free the hostages. Yeah, it was it was like a pro-Israel protest, but it doesn't matter what the protest was for. That's psychotic. What do you mean? Like, that's an insane thing to do. And this man is an insane person. Absolutely insane person. Thank God nobody died. Holy shit.
Okay, interesting. He cares about the dead people, not the people that the terrorists he support kills. That's some weird dissonance. But anyways, did an alien take over Hasan's body? What the hell is this? Is he actually having a little bit of empathy for the victims?
No, that's not what it is. I think that in situations like this, Hasan realizes that there is a perfect storm of shit that has been coming his way. And I think that for the moment, he's just trying to play nice. Because it's like, so when you look at the DC shooting, Hasan justified it in many ways. He justified it by saying, well, you know, these are people that were Israeli and stuff like that. You know, they were Christian Israelis. But for Hasan, this is different because, well, to my knowledge, nobody died. People were injured, and one of them was like a Holocaust survivor. Like, this is, for him, this is the worst of the worst. Because he can't defend it. He knows there are more eyeballs on him. He knows if he defends this in any way, he's going to get clipped. Now, he wants to defend this because he defended the DC shooter. And his chat was going crazy in the comments, like with heart emojis. Based, man, based. Yeah, this shooter, it's like, he wants to promote this stuff, but he understands that he can't. If he were to glaze this guy, it would, I mean, I don't know if even Twitch could protect him at that point. You know, the blowback, the pushback would be incredible.
A little bit of iDubbbz? That's kind of crazy. I don't know if there's a gun to his head behind this or something, because this doesn't seem like Hasan, but anyways, good to see him condemning it at least a little bit. But after this, a chatter tries to somewhat justify it because his audience is completely insane. Like, wait till we look at the comment section of this video. But yeah, then he has to desperately reel it back.
It does matter. You don't think a pro-Israel protest is psychotic in and of itself? Yes, it is. But you know what you can't do? Throw Molotov cocktails at it. What are you, stupid? Are you out of your mind? Come on, dude. Jesus Christ. Yeah, what do you think this is? Grand Theft Auto? What?
I don't think he's sincere here, but I at least appreciate that he's calling it out.
What are you, insane? Are you out of your mind? Are you a federal agent? 87-year-old Jewish dude who or Jewish woman who can survive the Holocaust getting lit on fire. Not exactly great, you know? Are you insane? There are a lot of instances of direct action that is valid, valuable, reasonable, okay? This is not even in the range of appropriate behavior. Get the out of here. No, no one is actually even supporting it. Someone just like tried to say some dumb shit, and I immediately clamped on it.
Okay, that is straight bullshit. People are definitely supporting this. In fact, a lot of people from his community are supporting it. Let's just read the comments real quick. Here we have Hasan's own comment section. 130 mass shootings in 2025, but this gets wall-to-wall coverage. Known to the FBI for over a year is a synonym for we coaxed him into doing it. Interesting. It's a bit weird they focus on the makeshift flamethrower and cocktails in a country where he could have just bought an AR-15 while shopping groceries. Damn shame. There's so many billionaire oligarchs he could have used these on. Interesting. Can't tell American news apart from The Onion. I changed the description. They weren't Israeli protesters. Pro-Israel protesters would make more sense. I'm more annoyed that they're spinning this to anti-Semitism. What else was it? What the heck? I hope someone's doing a deep investigation into the dude who did this. This is very suspicious. Suspicious how? American problems require American solutions. This is giving Fed psyop, to be honest. Absolutely staged. I genuinely cannot bring myself to care about this. I also don't see much value in leftists openly denouncing the attack.
Ugh. So, ladies and gentlemen, when I talk about Hasan Piker, when I talk about who he is, what he does, and why I detest everything about him, it is so evidently clear that this guy is a bad actor. He's a malicious person, and he generates the type of content that brings in people like this and radicalizes them even further. If you want to watch the rest of the video, I definitely recommend that you do. It's called Hasan Just Effed Up Bad. Very, very good video from More Pegasus. Congratulations to him. But yeah, I will take any opportunity to document the decline of Hasan Piker. It just seems like he's trying to lay low for the moment. Not going to come out and endorse another terrorist attack, just so soon. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. See you next time.